The yellowed photograph in your hand is the only evidence left that Bruno ever existed. A jagged tear splits the frame right through the blurred fur of his upright ear, hiding the secret of why he vanished that July afternoon. You're 7 years old again, standing in a backyard thick with the smell of ozone and wet grass. You squint at the grain of the paper, desperate to see what the camera actually caught the moment he disappeared. Of the moment, the imperfect, singular truth of a life already lived. Then you do what everyone else is doing. You upload the scan to an image enhancement tool. You wait 10 seconds. A progress bar crawls across your screen. The machine thinks. It calculates. It finishes. The image pops back onto your screen, hyper realistic and sharp. The grass is now a perfect, vibrant emerald. Your skin is smooth. And Bruno. Bruno is no longer a mutt. He is a golden retriever, sleek and perfectly groomed. You look at this new version. You feel a strange cold pull in your stomach. You don't remember the dog looking like that, but the image is so clear, so vivid, that your brain begins to doubt the memory you just held. This is the threshold. You have just crossed from remembering into retrieving, and the cost is the integrity of your own life. I am Dr. Sarah Lynn. I have spent my career studying the elasticity of human memory. We like to think of our past as a library, a collection of dusty, immutable books on a shelf. But we are wrong. Memory is not a recording. It is a live, active construction. Every time you recall a story, you rewrite it. You add a detail, drop a color, soften a sharp edge. It is a biological process of adaptation. Now, we have introduced a new architect to that process. It is a digital machine that prioritizes aesthetic perfection over accuracy. And it is winning. Consider the scale of this intervention. Since the year 2022, over 15 billion AI generated images have flooded the digital commons. Roughly 71% of visual content you see online is now AI enhanced or outright synthesized. We are living in a sea of data that is being corrected in real time, and you are the primary target. When you see that cleaned up photo of your childhood home, your brain undergoes a process of cognitive reevaluation. It sees the high definition resolution and equates it with veracity. Your prefrontal cortex decides that the cleaner, sharper, more colorful version is the truth. It discards your hazy, imperfect recollection as noise. You aren't just looking at an image, you are replacing your own internal history with a corporate approved version of it. Research from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology has confirmed exactly how dangerous this is. In controlled studies, participants exposed to AI manipulated visual content demonstrated a staggering increase in the creation of false memories. We aren't talking about small tweaks. We are talking about whole narratives. When you watch an AI enhanced video, your likelihood of holding a false recollection increases by a factor of 2. If that content is interactive, if it moves, if it feels alive, that number jumps again. It is a 2.05 multiplier of deception. You don't just remember wrong, you remember with confidence. You become what researchers call an honest liar. You sincerely believe the lie because your brain has surrendered the burden of proof to the screen. Why do we let this happen? It's the comfort trap. We want our past to look the way we imagined it. We want the summers to be brighter, the faces to be kinder, the sadness to be softened by a flattering filter. The past is often ugly. It is confusing. It is filled with loose ends and blurry moments that we would rather resolve. The AI offers us a resolution. It turns the chaos of lived experience into a crisp, clean aesthetic. It makes the past look like a commercial for a life that you never quite lived. I see this in my clinical work all the time. Patients come to me with prosthetic memories. They are convinced they took a trip they never went on, or they believe their mother wore a dress that was never in her closet. The source is always the same. It is an old, scanned photo that was processed through a restoration tool that hallucinates reality. The machine doesn't know who your mother was. It doesn't know the texture of the fabric she wore. It only knows patterns. It knows what a woman in a 1980s photograph should look like based on the millions of images it scraped from the internet. So it paints a hallucination over your reality. It is the ultimate form of gaslighting, and the perpetrator is the software sitting on your phone. There is an irony here that keeps me up at night. For patients struggling with neurodegeneration, we sometimes use controlled, archival content to trigger emotional responses. It can be a bridge back to a sense of self. But what happens when the bridge is made of fake wood? When we use AI to reconstruct memories for the elderly, we are essentially building a prison of beautiful lies. We are substituting the painful reality of the present with a sanitized, high definition fantasy. Is it better to be happy and wrong, or to be tethered to a fading, uncomfortable truth? We are moving toward a state of predictive reality. You don't remember your childhood anymore. You retrieve it. You call up a digital file, you let an algorithm polish it, and then you ingest that version as the absolute fact. The more you do this, the more the original neural pathways weaken. The memory becomes a digital ghost. Eventually, the original is gone, replaced by a file you don't even own. You are a curator of a gallery you didn't create. You are the spectator of your own life. Think about the last time you looked at a childhood photo. Did you notice the way the light fell? Did you remember the specific, uncomfortable feeling of the fabric on your skin? Or did you just notice how good it looked? That shift, from sensing to observing, is the erosion of your autobiographical integrity. We are losing the ability to hold our own messiness. We are afraid of the blur. But the blur is where the humanity lives. The tear in the corner of that photo, that is where the story is. The dirt on the dog's coat, that is the evidence that the dog existed. When you demand perfection from your past, you lose the right to own it. You are trading your soul's anchor for a sharper image. And once you make that trade, there is no going back. You cannot unsee the polished version. Your brain has already overwritten the file. You sit in your room, bathed in the blue light of your screen. You have thousands of photos, all crisp, all vibrant, all perfectly restored. You have never had a more beautiful archive, and you have never been more alienated from your own history. It is a strange, quiet tragedy. You are the last generation to remember the way things really were. Or maybe you are the first generation that will forget the difference. Look at your screen. The pixels are perfect. The colors are balanced. It looks like a memory. It feels like a memory. But it is just a suggestion. The next time you feel the urge to clean a piece of your past, stop. Put the phone down. Let the photo stay blurry. Let the grass stay brown. Hold on to the smudge. It is the only thing that proves you were actually there. The machine will still be there, waiting to polish away your life, one pixel at a time. But for now, you still have the choice. You can keep the ghost, or you can keep the truth. The moment you click that button, the choice is gone. You are effectively choosing to be a stranger to your own story. If you want to understand how the machines are building this new reality, you know what to do. Keep the blur. Keep the truth. It is all you have left.